Hi guys. Well, it is Friday, 28th of February 2025, and it is now 3:21 p.m. Pluto time. Now, I'm just getting in to record this before the lineup of planets that will occur over Tugum at 4 p.m. Now, I just want to talk about this. I'm going to be going to a very brief PowerPoint. I haven't got a lot of type. I'll talk you through it, but I just wanted to point out a few things and then take a look at Solar System Scope online and, yeah, talk about Pluto. All right, let's go over here to, all right. Now, I don't even have the screen recorder down to the size of the PowerPoint because when I switch over to Solar System Scope, I want to be able to get it all in. So, yeah, it's February the 28th, 2025 at 1600 hours military time, Tugum time, or 6 a.m. UTC. And it doesn't matter what location you're at, UTC being universal time. It's Julian Day 2460-734.75000. Now, looking here on the next slide, this is from the Solar System Scope that Yah has on his computer that has never been on the internet. So this is an older version, if you like, but it's set for 4 p.m. Tugum time, and this is what is in the heavens. I know there's been a great deal to do about the 7-planet lineup. It's actually 8, and you can see there, looking over here at Mars, that has just risen, will have just risen at this time. Then you've got Jupiter, Uranus, Venus, Neptune. And then you've got Mercury, Saturn, and right down here, far out, is Pluto. Now, nobody asked Yahweh if he wanted his planet, Pluto, demoted to a dwarf planet. However, as it always is, men thinking they are far wiser demoted Pluto, and I believe the exact date was the 24th of August 2006 when they had one of their meetings, and it was officially adopted that Pluto would be demoted to a dwarf planet. So that meant that there would be 8 planets, not 9 planets, including the Earth being a planet in our solar system. Well, like I said, nobody asked Yah about that. And he has a name for them, FW. You all know what that is. But why does it matter? Well, in Yah's PowerPoints and measuring the creation, including Pluto, Pluto often came in with the punchline of what it's all about, Alfie. So let's take a look over here. This is now Yah's home planet. You're all familiar with this. And you can see there that these are from the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Moon, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. They are all up, meaning what? They are up in the heavens above the ecliptic. They are above the horizon, so they're able to be seen. Okay, you can see how close they are to the horizon by their altitude. The Sun is up at 30.257 degrees, Mercury at 39.222, Venus 39.851, the Moon very close to the Sun in altitude, 33.188, and Mars, you can see, has just risen over the eastern horizon. It's only 5.808 degrees above the horizon. And the highest, of course, here is Uranus at 43.078 degrees. And then Pluto, which is about to set within, I'll show you in a moment, but it's only 5.623 degrees above the setting horizon. Just to demonstrate, here it is here. You can see Now, this is at half an hour before, so it's approaching now at 3:30 p.m. Tugun time, or 5:30 a.m. UTC. You can see that Mars, it says it's set. Well, it hasn't risen, so it's below the horizon of the, is unable to be seen anywhere, but all the others are up, including Pluto is still up at an altitude of 13.937 degrees. So that's half an hour before 4 p.m. And this is what it looks like half an hour later. So at our time, 4:30 p.m. or 6:30 a.m. UTC. You can see here by the altitude that all the planets are up. There's Mars, it's risen 11.261 degrees altitude, but Pluto has already set, so it's now below the horizon just by a small amount, 0.446 degrees. Now, let's take a look at the distances to the planet. I have added all of the distances to each of the planets from the Earth, and you can see there, of course, measuring in astronomical units, to the Sun 0.991 plus 1.132 plus 0.346. Now, where did we see that? Well, that was in our my last video upload about Chukka's work, where the total of all of those letters translated into numbers added up to 346, which means gathering together to make whole or unity, a sum of all the parts. So here it is repeated today. Then adding 0.856, 4.965 plus 10.584 for the distance to Saturn, plus 19.798 the distance to Uranus, 30.828 astronomical units the distance to Neptune, and good old Pluto tailing there at the end at 35.992 astronomical units. Now, adding all of those distances is 105.492 astronomical units. Many of you recognize the 105. It's eagle or angel. It was Yah's rebirth location into Sydney. In Hebrew, it means a basin or a charger, for the gathering, for example, of blood being poured out from the cross. Example. But the 492 in Greek happens to be pass by on the other side. Well, that's exactly what's happening at this instant in time. All of the planets are up, as well as the sun and the moon, a new moon. They are all there, all on one side, passing by. However, in Hebrew, 492 is, it's from 489 in the sense of concealment. Someone that is so-and-so without giving the name of the person or place. All right, well, I just realized how fitting that's going to be for a moment because let's now go over to the online, here it is, Solar System Scope. This is the latest version of it, where for the exercise of looking for, this now at 4 p.m. in 27 minutes time, you can see here the rising of Mars, just rising. And then we've got Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune over here, Venus before we get to Neptune, then Mercury, then Saturn, and the moon is right in front of the sun as the new moon. Now, Pluto is here, it's about to set, and because it's been demoted, you won't find it in the list of planets. For example, planets missing Pluto and being demoted to a dwarf planet, there it is. So, Yah, again, he didn't have anything complimentary to say about the astronomers and all of those who gathered to demote Pluto, but it was never demoted in his world, and we all know that that's the only world that matters. So let's go back and find out what it is revealing today, now just 26 minutes away. All right, so Pluto, yes, it was, I'm sure it was August 24th. I did find 2006, however. Yah regards Pluto as the balance to his solar system, and the only reason to be demoted would be for nefarious intent, although, probably, they're men, stupid men. Now, the distance to Pluto, we know it's 35.992 astronomical units, but we're looking at the 3599. And it highlights a very high profile, in-your-face abomination in these last days, without naming that someone. We don't have to. However, in the Greek concordance, it's a tooth or teeth. And it's in reference to Revelation 9:8, quoting, and they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. Now, much closer to home, for the last, now it's coming up 12 days. I've had a problem with nerves running along the right side of my jaw, causing discomfort with my teeth. Now, I had ascertained that it was the trigeminal nerve, because that splits in three across the face, and it was the one that was giving me grief underneath the teeth in the jaw. So today I made an appointment for today to, just in case, check out to see that there was nothing ugly underneath. So I've already been there and done that today. I'm glad I did. He confirmed there was nothing like an abscess or anything like that, but I do need to take a closer look at thinking down the track about teeth. All right, so that's been on my mind and in my dreams these last couple of weeks. You know how it is when you're putting up with discomfort in some area of your body. Suddenly your dreams are all about getting rid of it. Anyway, long story short, it's in the Hebrew. 35.99 is a cup, also a bag for money or weights. Found specifically, you know that Yahweh is always referred to Isaiah when we are looking at the meanings of words. From Isaiah 46 verse 6, they lavish gold out of the bag, there's the number, 35.99, and weigh silver in the balance, and hire a goldsmith, and he maketh it a god. They fall down, yea, they worship. So still not identifying the who, but who does that? Who falls down and worships and all? Well, they're commonly called in today's era. This word doesn't exist in Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary, but it does in the Merriam-Webster. Sycophants. I've heard that word bandied around sycophants. So what's it? Here's the history. In ancient Greece, sycophantes means slanderer. It derives from two other Greek words, sikon meaning fig and phainin meaning to show or reveal. How did fig revealers become slanderers? One theory has to do with the taxes that Greek farmers were required to pay on the figs they brought to market. Apparently, the farmers would sometimes try to avoid making the payments, but squealers or fig revealers would think on them, and they would be forced to pay. Another possible source is the sense of the word fig, meaning a gesture or sign of contempt, as thrusting a thumb between two fingers. In any case, Latin retained the slanderer sense when it borrowed a version of sycophantes, but by the time English speakers in the 16th century borrowed it as sycophant, the squealers had become flatterers. Now, the synonyms for sycophants in its use today, apple polisher, I laughed at that one, a fawner, a flunky, a toady, bootlicker, or flunky spelled a different way, a lick spittle, yeah, right, brown noser, there's flunky spelled another way again, and a suck up. All right, we get the drift. Now, going back to, from Isaiah 46, they lavish gold out of the bag and weigh silver in the balance and hire a goldsmith, and he maketh it a god. They fall down, yea, they worship. So it was brought to my attention this week, and I'm not going to be mentioning any names. You've probably already seen it, but throwing up came to mind, as well as indignation. Let's take a look. All right, this is what is found. A bizarre golden-hoofed goat idol is on display. You can read it all there because I'm not naming. Now, look at the horns, the tail, the genitals on this goat and the hoofs. They're all gold, plastered with $100 bills that says, "In we trust," the one I will not name, replacing God with that name. Right. Okay. Now, before Yah left, he was disgusted already with what was being circulated on somebody's social platform. But then comes, what was it? I believe it was Tuesday night. Oh, right. The world being revolted. And I know throughout the night that, sickening is not quite the word to describe it. However, it is apt. Totally, absolutely. The one I will not name. I don't have to. You can be revolted by yourself. All right, now let's go down back to the lineup of planets now, just 19 minutes away. This is beginning at its lunation 1264 until the 29th of March. The full moon being on the 14th of March. And, going back to, let me see, let's go back to, you can see the distance of the moon, 57.8 ER. Now, that always means Earth radius. So, and Yah always took it back to Isaiah. So we're going to look at Isaiah 57 verse 8, and I'll read it. Quoting, behind, that's interesting. 310 in Hebrew is the word behind. So we've got hello in Greek and behind in Hebrew. Give me a 310. All right. Behind the doors also and the posts. I'll start again. Behind the doors also and the posts hast thou set up thy remembrance, for thou hast discovered thyself to another than me, and art gone up. Thou hast enlarged thy bed, and made thee a covenant with them. Thou lovest their bed, where thou sawest it. Now, the one that I'm not naming, that describes, that could be a biography. Okay, all right, moving right along because we're not focusing on that. Let me get down to, this is the Earth from the moon location. The moon over the Earth at 7.95 degrees south and 96.41 degrees east. and a distance of 364,092.05 kilometers. Here is the sun location, the view of the Earth from the sun, and it's very close to the moon, we'll see in a minute. 7.86 degrees south, 93.13 degrees east. And here it is here. This is the sun location. I've got a Google shot to show you in a moment that they are so very close. But the polygon, being triangular distance back to the cross here in our backyard, the perimeter is 13,200.84 kilometers. Now, the 0.84, well, that's Marshall, or it's Emmanuel, meaning God with us. But looking at 1320 in the Greek concordance is master, Jesus. In Hebrew, it is flesh or body. The area in square kilometers, 661,169.01. In Greek, 661 is to pay in full. And in the Hebrew concordance, it is Yah has opened. So this is why I needed to get this up now. Here it is in miles, the same polygon, but this time the perimeter in miles, 8202.62. Looking at Greek concordance, 820, without honor. In Hebrew, judge, hello. Well, Yah, as you know, was treated without honor when he was here. And he warned the world, he's the judge. Now, in square miles, 255,278.78 square miles, 2552 in the Greek concordance is suffering, affliction. And I can assure you now that is not pertaining to Yah once he left the suffering of his affliction being on this plane. However, in Hebrew, it means the hot or in flame. The 787 part of that area, 255,278.79, 787 is very big. Tammy, I know you'll be hearing this in my world, and I know exactly what it means, but in Greek it is a farthing, as in a Roman coin. And the 7879 in Hebrew is contemplation, utterance, and prayer. And that is what has been occurring in this household. All right, nautical miles, the perimeter, 7,127.88 nautical miles, an area of 192,766.05 square nautical miles. Now, in the Greek concordance, this is 712 is dinner, hello. It was a dinner hour in Hebrew when Yah left Harvey Bay Hospital. In Hebrew, 7127 is come near. In the Greek concordance, you'll be pleased to know that 88 is continual without ceasing. However, in Hebrew, it is water skins, and I immediately thought of a skin diver. The 1927 in Greek is be there to make oneself at home. Hello! But in Hebrew, 1927 is decoration, beauty, and honor. So just the last slide in this short presentation. This is what it looks like. Definitely a sword point, but you can see how close the sun and the moon are, and is why it is a new moon. This side of the sun, it is completely dark. We do not see it giving any light at all until it moves away. So, yes, with that, very quick. Oh, I don't know what this is. Oh, go away. How did... why is... Okay. All right. Later, Gators. 12 minutes until this is occurring. Let's see if I can get it up to the YouTube in that time. Thank you. Bye.